was when I got the opportunity to go and further my studies after my undergraduate when I went to Stellenbosch University to study satellite engineering. That's where I was like, wow, so there's more into STEM than just mathematics and physics. And so basically having that opportunity to further my studies and study about satellites and stuff.
Basically say that, to be honest, at times it's not so easy to pursue a career in STEM, especially if you're a girl, because it's a male-dominated section or other field. But it's quite interesting. There's a lot of fun, and one thing about science or about STEM subjects is that most of them are practical. You get to do things that really have an impact on human beings, really have an impact on the whole globe. For example, myself, I'm a polymer scientist. Polymers are real, to be honest. They're everywhere, and now the world is becoming more and more polymer. We're moving from a metal world into a plastic world. So they are real. That's one thing that drives me crazy about this whole STEM issue. We live it. It really does exist.
I think we put a lot of pressure on young kids to start making a career choice at the age of 17, 18 years old. But don't make a career choice based on perceptions. A lot of people say engineering is for boys, or it's too tough for girls, and there's all these things that exist about what an engineering career looks like. Both the super over glamorized versions or the extremely tough misperceptions about being a grease monkey in our heart as an overall. But I think the biggest thing about choosing a career, particularly one in STEM, is making an informed decision about it.
Rather than necessarily a gender nasty thing. If you want to be a woman in a male-dominated environment, this is what we deal with. If you want to be a male nurse, it's incredibly hard. You get mocked, you don't get taken seriously, you don't get allowed into the delivery room or whatever because people think you don't have the relevant professional or personal skills, you don't have sufficient compassion or whatever. And I think we are a victim of the cultural minority thing. And I think the world is becoming a more egalitarian and a fairer place, and we can start to challenge those things. But we also shouldn't feel like we are victims here. We're not victims. We can do stuff about it, and it's also just circumstantial in some ways.
I know I wouldn't have. I think being a woman definitely has an impact. I can see that the opportunities, certainly when I started my career, were easier for the guys that I worked with, and that did create frustration, but I wasn't giving up. So I think that it strengthened me and it enabled me to maybe get to where I've got to, but it was tough at the beginning. And I think that being somebody, I felt isolated quite regularly over the period. Now I am so privileged to be working in an environment where I feel very much a part of it. So it's a growth process. I would just advise any young woman to persevere because it's worth it in the end.